Hi, and welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's going on in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris, and this week we're celebrating February with stories highlighting special occasions unique to this time of year. First up is Valentine's Day, everyone's favorite February holiday, unless you have a thing for groundhogs or commanders-in-chief. And wouldn't you know that for the past 25 years, hundreds of locals and out-of-towners have gathered right here in Bradford to celebrate the big February 14th Love Fest at the Bradford Valentine Road Race. The Journal was there as our own Colin Kennedy joined the pack, hitting the streets to get his heart racing.
Are you ready to run? On your mark, get set, go! Good luck, everybody. We'll see you at 6K or 5 miles.
Hi, I'm John Burke. Live in Haverhill here. I've been doing this race for 25 years. The race started out being a fundraiser to replace the steeple on the church. This is our historic church. I forget how many years it took to raise the funds, but they did replace the steeple. And now it goes for a lot of the outreach programs for the church.
It goes to a little bit of everything, some of the general budget, some of the outreaches, and this is not just your average road race. This is an excuse to do heart and soul work with people. First Church of Christ, Bradford, the tagline for us is we exist to be rooted in the Bible, connected to the past, relevant in the present, and hopeful for the future. The benefits of this lends to all four of those reaches.
Every runner who's running today, they get a t-shirt, pair of running gloves, they get a box of chocolates, and a carnation, as well as 3 raffle tickets to the 16 raffles that we have available today. We have some people from the congregation here who have been here since 5:30 making gallons and gallons of homemade soup for the runners when they finish.
So we have our race participant here, Colin Kennedy.
Hi,
He's been
Lindsay.
working on the Haverhill Journal for 2 years behind the scenes, but you don't get to see him. Now you see him on camera. So, Colin, tell
Not
me.
only on camera, but going to be wearing a camera too.
Is this your first time doing the race?
This is my first Valentine's Day race, but it's not my first race that I've ever done. So this is going to be fun. Even though it's cold, it's going to be a great race day. Valentine's Day.
You ready for me to follow you through the race?
Yes.
Jog behind you with a camera?
Well, you can try to keep up. How's that?
Does not had a sub 20-minute 6K finisher since 2009, and we will get that today from Pat Bolton from Haverhill. That's Tim Kutogio, Boston, across the finish line. Riley Gilmore, Haverhill, across the finish line as our first female finisher.
I train around here all the time, so the terrain is nothing new to me. I know exactly where I am at all times when I'm running. My first mile was very, very fast. I kind of used the downhill and the wind to my back, kind of easy through the middle, and then the last probably quarter of a mile on the downhill, I really picked it up.
It was definitely really cold, but once I got going, it actually wasn't too bad. I was a little nervous going into it, but it wasn't icy or anything, so it was actually a really good day.
There's Austin Steele, Andover. Paul Scavano, Haverhill. Jessica Grahalik, Wilmington, from the Sisu Project.
I've heard you've run in 21 of the 25 races here.
That's correct, yeah. I love this race here. Yeah, this is a great race. Yeah, it's one of the better ones, I'll put it that way. Yeah.
You get chocolate and soup.
And it's chocolate, you got gloves, you got everything here.
These are all your t-shirts up.
Well, there's 20 of them there, I think, 21 of them, I think. Yeah, 21 out of the 25. But I love to run, that's the only reason, you know.
Colin Kennedy, Haverhill.
Tonight's going to be one of the coldest nights on record. So right now it's about, 20 degrees out here?
Yeah, it's about 20, and I think most runners run in these kinds of conditions whenever they're doing training or things like that. So this isn't unusual. Once we get running, we're going to warm up really quick.
It was great. I think I've run this about 15 times, but it was cold. The headwind, the temperature was supposed to be about 20. With the headwind, it must have been about 17.
Our MC, Andy, he's telling me that this is an eternity for road races because they just don't last that long. road racing for 25 years. You got your marathons, that's a whole nother story, but the road races, they don't have much of a shelf life, and to do this for 25 years, it's pretty big.
Like I said, me and my sister will come back. We just missed winning the team trophy, so we'll be back to try to win next year.
It's a fun race. I'd love to come back next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, our top finishers in our 6K.
There's something special about the Valentine's Day race, that huge group and just all really happy to be there, even though it was about the coldest day of the year. The race was a huge success for First Church of Christ Bradford, and they invite all of you out to take part next year. Black History Month is also celebrated in February, and it's not widely known today that Haverhill and the entire Merrimack Valley were a common waypoint on the Underground Railroad, where private homeowners sheltered fugitive slaves en route to freedom in Canada. Haverhill residents Sean and James Sullivan, who have biked the trail, helped us get a sense of that journey.
So my son was training for the Emmaus Cycle for Shelter fundraising ride, and my daughter's school had a Harriet Tubman personality come in to talk about the Underground Railroad, and that got me interested in looking up some information about it. And I looked at Underground Railroad stops that are known in Massachusetts, and I found this one in my hometown that I had never noticed in living here for 50 years. Haverhill was a terminal point in Massachusetts for slaves on their way to New Hampshire and then up to Canada. The Underground Railroad, as many people know, was a loosely knit, not well organized system of houses and stops and people who were abolitionists, ex-slaves, or escaped slaves themselves, who were helping the escaped slaves make their way off to someplace like Massachusetts, New England states, other northern states, or Canada. The slaves were moved either on foot or very often taken by the benefactors that they came across, like John Greenleaf Whittier, who was best friends with the fellow who owned this house, the Harmon House here in Haverhill.
Haverhill native and poet John Greenleaf Whittier was also an outspoken abolitionist. He conducted large numbers of escaped slaves to the home of his friend David Harmon, a wealthy shoe manufacturer and owner of this home on Summer Street. It is the only surviving confirmed Underground Railroad stop in Haverhill and bears a plaque highlighting its history. A second home in East Haverhill, on Saunders Hill near the Merrimack border, is also known to have served as an Underground Railroad stop. Deacon Daniel Hoyt took in as many as 5 escapees at a time. The home was torn down many years ago, but in the 1930s, historian Fred Noyes drew this illustration from memory.
The people who were doing this were putting themselves at risk of a $1,000 fine and up to 6 months in prison at the time. While it was in play, they weren't advertising where they were, and when it was all said and done, a lot of the people who do that type of work don't brag about it, and so some of them, the houses are just lost.
Other stops along the Sullivan's route included the Capon House and adjacent Gould Barn in Topsfield Center, today a museum that contains a small selection of abolitionist memorabilia. The Brocklebank Museum on Main Street in Georgetown, home of Harriet Beecher Stowe's brother Charles Beecher in the 1850s, and the Lemuel Marden House on Route 113 in Groveland, where leg irons were discovered in a secret room many decades after the Civil War.
This house dates back to 1835 or so. The Underground Railroad itself predates it by quite a few years. The first recorded instance of Massachusetts people helping the slaves escape north was in 1793, and that kept up till the end of the Civil War. What I can tell you is, doing this in broad daylight on paved, well-maintained roads with a GPS under absolutely no pressure whatsoever, we at one point just got hopelessly lost. When you compare that to the people who had to do this while running for their lives in the pitch black darkness, relying only on the kindness of strangers to get through the next couple days, it's pretty amazing that anyone made it north at all. It's pretty incredible.
The Topsfield and Georgetown Underground Railroad stops are now museums that are open to the public at certain times of year. To learn more about the Underground Railroad in Essex County and find more stops, visit nps.gov and search for abolitionists in Essex County. Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito visited City Hall today to join Mayor Fiorentini in signing a community compact in recognition of the mayor's initiation of specific best practices in city government, including the potential creation of a 311 phone number for city residents. The Journal was at the ceremony to learn more.
Community Compact is the result of Governor Baker's very first executive order, and it's intended to form a really strong partnership with our cities and towns across our Commonwealth. Today we're here in Haverhill to sign the 155th Community Compact. It's a voluntary program, it's funded, and the community decides what best practices they want to focus on to help them build a stronger community to serve the people that live here. This is where government is closest to the people, and we need to do our part to help you succeed. So I want to thank you very, very much, all of you, for being a part of this.
One of the best practices we put in for was to improve customer services, improve citizen engagement. And we're looking at that. How can we get better software? How can we get a better phone system? We want people to get the best possible service. That's our goal.
With a community of over 60,000 people, it's really important to stay in touch. You have younger people coming in and out of the city, you've got older people that are aging here, and you've got to stay in touch with everyone so that they know what their services are that will help them and connect them to the places and things that they want to do. So citizen engagement and using technology to be able to better connect with residents is really key. And I know the mayor's key initiative about growing the economy here in Haverhill is really important. So partnering up with the Chamber of Commerce and the regional economy is really important. That with housing and other initiatives will really strengthen the job market here in the greater Haverhill area.
The Community Compact will run for 2 years, and the Mayor's office will continue to keep residents updated on the Compact during that period. Looking for a fun night out full of laughs, friends, and fun trivia, supporting local students, and all with a chance to win big? The annual Haverhill Education Foundation Trivia Night fundraiser is the place to be. Saturday, March 19th, 2016 at 7 p.m. at the AmVets Post 147. Bring your own team of 4 to 10 people or join a wildcard team. The top team will bring home a cash prize of $300. To register, visit haverhilleducationfoundation.org or call Tina Fuller at 978-697-5620. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our YouTube channel, HCTV Haverhill. And that's what's happening in Haverhill the week of February 25th. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you next time.